Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something called robustness, YouTube SEO. It's something we've personally spent a lot of time thinking about.
Definitely. We're looking beyond just, hitting number one on YouTube, because that's not always the whole story, is it?
Not at all. We've seen those number ones pop up, felt that excitement, but then you look closer.
Right. And some of those top spots are solid, like really rooted. Others, they're gone in a flash.
Exactly. Some rankings just stick, become these reliable traffic drivers. Others just poof, vanish. So our mission today really is to unpack what makes a YouTube keyword ranking good, high quality, and maybe even more importantly, stable.
Yeah, going beyond just the rank number to see what's really driving like long-term success.
And this is for you listening if you want to get the important stuff quickly, but, properly without getting buried in spreadsheets.
We're aiming to cut through the noise, focus on what actually moves the needle for building a YouTube channel that, well, lasts.
We've pulled together some really interesting sources for this. We looked at YouTube marketing theory, some practical stuff on measuring keyword performance, and this whole idea of YouTube quality, focusing on that stability factor.
Okay, so let's dive in. What is a high-quality YouTube keyword ranking if it's not just being number one?
Well, that's the core question, isn't it? It's definitely more than just that initial ranking. There are a few key ingredients.
And the first big one, maybe the most revealing, is viewer engagement. But specifically, how viewers engage when they come from YouTube search.
Okay, let's focus there. Viewer engagement from search. We're talking average view duration, AVD, and click-through rate, CTR.
Exactly. But the crucial bit, like our sources kept pointing out, is looking at those numbers only for the traffic that came from someone searching on YouTube.
Why is that distinction so important?
Because high AVD and CTR from that search query basically tell YouTube, hey, this video, it's the right answer for this specific search. It's validation.
It's not just getting the click.
No, it's about satisfying the searcher, keeping them watching. That's the behavior YouTube wants and, frankly, rewards.
I remember that First Blood example we discussed. Someone searches Goliath versus David, clicks, because the theme seems similar maybe, but then they bail immediately because it's not the movie.
Right. That's super low-quality engagement for that search term.
But contrast that with someone searching, say, make money online YouTube SEO. They click, they watch for several minutes.
That's high-quality engagement. The video delivered exactly what the search term promised.
And that quality engagement, that seems to be the bedrock for the next piece, which is ranking stability, robustness.
A great ranking isn't just a flash in the pan. It holds its ground over time, right? Even when competitors are trying to knock it down. That resilience, that's robustness YouTube SEO.
We've absolutely seen this. Remember how our rankings for really specific terms like digital assets YouTube SEO or financial freedom YouTube SEO just stuck?
Yeah, they were solid.
But then keywords like passive income YouTube SEO or make money online YouTube SEO, they felt a bit more bouncy at first, up and down.
Well, and what's interesting is how closely that stability ties back to the engagement, those steadier rankings. Often, they had better AVD and CTR from people searching those exact terms.
It's like YouTube sees people are happy with the result for that search, and it kind of locks it in place.
Yeah, it cements you as the go-to answer for that query.
Okay, so engagement from search, stability.
Yeah.
What's the third part of this quality equation?
Traffic impact. Meaningful view volume.
Right. Ranking number one is cool, but if it's for a term, only 5 people search for a month.
Exactly. It doesn't really move the needle for your channel overall. Sometimes ranking, say, number 3 for a keyword with tons of searches and really engaged viewers is way more valuable.
So wrapping that definition up, YouTube quality is high engagement, the AVD CTR specifically from that keyword search, plus the stability or robustness to hold that rank. And it needs to bring in a meaningful number of those engaged viewers.
That sums it up nicely. High engagement, stability, and actual impact.
Okay, that clarifies what quality looks like. But let's talk about the why. Why does the YouTube algorithm care so much about this quality and stability stuff?
That's fundamental. It boils down to YouTube's main goal: keeping viewers happy and watching stuff on YouTube.
Viewer satisfaction, basically. Keep them on the platform.
Precisely. Think about it from their perspective. Someone searches, clicks your video, and watches a good chunk of it. That's a win for YouTube. Happy viewer, more watch time, more ad views potentially. It serves their goals.
So those high AVD and CTR numbers from search aren't just metrics for us, they're signals. Direct signals to the algorithm saying, this worked, The viewer found what they wanted.
Exactly right. And YouTube pays attention. The reward isn't just holding that rank for the keyword. It can mean getting recommended more broadly, too.
And the flip side?
If people click from search but leave right away, that signals dissatisfaction. The algorithm sees that as a poor match for the query, and you might see your rank for that specific term drop.
So focusing on this keyword quality isn't about tricking the algorithm. It's about aligning with it.
You're working with the system's goals, not against them, which naturally leads to the question, how do we actually do that? How do we achieve these high-quality, stable rankings?
Right, the practical side. Our sources seem to point towards a kind of strategic blueprint.
Yeah, a framework integrating core YouTube strategies. It starts, interestingly, with really deep search intent analysis.
Okay, what does deep mean here? More than just keyword volume.
Oh, yeah. It's about truly understanding why someone is typing that specific phrase in. What's the underlying problem they're trying to solve? What specific answer are they looking for? Are they comparing options? Looking for a tutorial?
Got it. So you understand the why behind the search.
And that understanding drives your targeted keyword research. You're not just grabbing high-volume keywords. You're looking for keywords where you can genuinely provide the best answer, where you have a real ranking opportunity.
Which leads directly into creating high-value content. Seems obvious, maybe.
It does, but it's non-negotiable. Your video has to thoroughly answer that search query and keep people engaged while doing it. It's not just information dump. Presentation matters.
And that brings us to the intro.
Yeah.
The hook. Our sources really hammered this point.
They did. Those first 30 seconds are critical, especially for search traffic. If you don't immediately signal, yes, this video has the answer you seek, they're gone. And your AVD tanks.
It's so important that people apparently re-edit intros based on data. We actually did that, remember. Saw a huge drop-off in the first 15 seconds from search viewers. Redid the intro to be super direct about the search problem. Made a huge difference to AVD. It's crazy how vital those opening moments are.
Totally. Then comes meticulous optimization, the basics, but done well. Titles, thumbnails, descriptions, all perfectly aligned with the keyword and that search intent you figured out earlier.
And for the stability part, the robustness.
Building content clusters. Creating related videos that link together, reinforcing your authority on a topic, makes your rankings much harder to dislodge.
Like building a web of content, not just isolated posts.
Exactly. And finally, it all loops back to continuous monitoring, using YouTube analytics, checking that AVD and CTR per keyword.
And that SEO sensor concept came up again here.
Right, which isn't like a specific tool you buy, but more the practice of actively tracking your keyword ranks and how stable they are over time. It's like your channel's vital signs monitor for SEO health.
So it's this ongoing loop. Understand the searcher, create the best answer, optimize it, build authority around it, and then constantly watch the data, the AVD, the CTR, the rank stability, and refine.
That's the core idea. The goal isn't just to grab number one briefly. It's to earn it and keep it by being the best result for that searcher.
Okay. This makes sense conceptually, but I know people listening are thinking, how do I actually measure this? How do I know if my keywords are working?
Totally valid question. And that YouTube SEO sensor idea really speaks to this need for practical, data-driven measurement.
It's about being intentional with tracking, not just glancing at views.
Right. It shifts the mindset from just watching ranks go up or down to actively sensing what the data is telling you about performance and relevance.
So where do we start with a practical measurement? YouTube analytics, I assume.
Absolutely. That's ground zero. It can feel a bit much at first, but for this, you want to head to the Reach tab in YouTube Studio.
Okay, Reach tab. What's key in there?
Two main things. The traffic sources report shows you how people found your video in general, but the goldmine is the YouTube search terms report. That tells you the exact search queries people use to find your video.
Ah, so you see the actual words they typed.
Exactly. Super valuable for understanding if you're matching the right intent.
Now, analytics shows what's currently driving traffic. But what about keywords you're trying to rank for, but maybe aren't getting much traffic from yet?
Great point. That's where rank tracking tools come in. Things like TubeBuddy, vidIQ, ToRanker, even bigger SEO suites like SEMrush or Ahrefs often have YouTube rank tracking features.
And these just monitor your position for specific keywords.
Yep. You tell them the keywords you care about and the video you want to track, and they check your rank in YouTube search results over time.
Why is that necessary on top of analytics?
Several reasons. Visibility, you see how you rank for terms before they send significant traffic. Performance, over time you track progress, see if your optimization is working. Optimization feedback helps you connect changes you made to ranking shifts. And competitive context, you can often track competitors too.
Okay, so analytics for current performers, rank trackers for targeted visibility and progress. Now, what specific metrics, the KPIs, should we focus on within that data?
Good. Let's drill down into the key performance indicators for keyword relevance, focusing again on that search traffic.
What are the main ones?
First up, impressions and click-through rate, CTR, specifically from search. Impressions are how often your thumbnail showed up in search results for a keyword. CTR is the percentage of those impressions that got clicked.
So a high CTR from search means the title and thumbnail are doing their job for that query. They look relevant, compelling.
Exactly. Benchmarks vary. Maybe 2 10% or 4 5% is often quoted, but the real insight comes from comparing your videos against your own channel average. Which ones pop for specific search terms?
Okay, CTR from search. What's next?
Then you look after the click. Watch time and average view duration, AVD, also specifically from search. High watch time and AVD from search viewers means your content is actually delivering on the promise of the title and thumbnail for that query. It's fulfilling the search intent.
And you mentioned retention too.
Mm-hmm. Audience retention from search. Looking at the retention graph just for viewers who came via search, ideally you want a relatively flat curve, meaning they stuck around because the content remained relevant to their search throughout.
Now, how does CTR and these watch time metrics work together?
Ah, this is critical.
Yeah.
You might have an amazing CTR, like a really clickbaity title thumbnail for a search term, but if everyone clicks and then leaves immediately because it wasn't what they expected,
Low watch time, bad retention.
exactly. That tells YouTube, okay, people clicked, but they weren't satisfied. The algorithm weighs that post-click engagement, watch time, retention very heavily. It sees that as the true signal of relevance and satisfaction, much more than just the initial click.
Makes sense. You can't just trick people into clicking. You have to actually deliver value related to their search.
Precisely.
Okay, so we're measuring our own stuff.
Yeah.
CTR from search, AVD from search, retention from search, tracking ranks. What about the competition? How important is looking at what others are doing?
Hugely important. Competitive intelligence provides context. Are you doing well or poorly relative to others targeting the same audience and keywords?
So step one is figuring out who your competitors actually are for specific keywords. How do you do that?
Simplest way, search YouTube for your main keywords. See who consistently shows up.
Just manual searching.
That's a start. But those SEO tools we mentioned, TubeBuddy, vidIQ, SEMrush, Ahrefs, they often have features to help identify channels competing for the same keywords or audience.
Okay, so we've identified a few key competitors. What should we be looking at specifically?
You can look at the keywords and tags they use. Browser extensions can sometimes reveal video tags.
Sneaky.
Huh. Well, it's public data.
Huh.
Then there's keyword gap analysis using tools like SEMrush or Ahrefs, finding keywords they rank for that you don't.
Oh, that sounds useful. Finding opportunities.
Definitely. You can also track their rankings for the keywords you care about using rank trackers. See how you stack up directly. And just analyze their top content, what topics, what formats are working for them in your niche.
So how do we use all that competitor info? What's the strategic takeaway?
It's about finding advantages. Keyword gaps show you potential targets. Benchmarking your CTR or AVD against theirs for shared keywords tells you where you need to improve. Analyzing why their top videos work, maybe they explain things better, maybe their editing is more engaging, maybe their optimization is just tighter, gives you ideas for making your own content superior.
So it's not about copying, but understanding the landscape and figuring out how to differentiate or just plain do better.
Exactly that. Learn from the market, then innovate or improve.
Okay, we've got data from analytics, data from rank trackers, data from competitor analysis.
Yeah.
That's potentially a lot of information. How do we pull it all together into something, actionable?
That's the key step, synthesizing it all. You can't just look at one piece in isolation. You need the holistic view.
Combining the internal data, what's happening with your videos, with the external context, ranks, and competition.
Precisely. You need analytics for the ground truth of what's driving traffic and engagement now, rank tracking for visibility and progress on target terms, and competitor analysis for context and opportunities.
Can you walk through a couple of examples, like connect the dots between different data points and show what action you'd take?
Sure. Scenario 1. Your rank tracker shows your ranking, say, number 4 for best budget microphone. Pretty good. But YouTube Analytics shows almost zero search traffic and a really low CTR for that term driving to your video.
Okay, so visible, but not getting clicks from that search.
Right. The insight. Your title and thumbnail probably aren't compelling for that specific search intent. Action. Test new thumbnails and titles specifically designed to appeal to someone searching for the best budget microphone. Make the promise clearer.
Okay, makes sense. Scenario 2.
Rank Tracker shows you're way down, maybe page 3, for advanced video editing techniques. But analytics shows the few people who do find your video via that search term watch, like 70% of it, super high AVD and retention.
So the content is spot on relevant, just nobody's finding it for that term.
Exactly, the insight. Content quality is high, but discoverability is low for that keyword. Action. Double down on SEO for that term. Rework the title, description, tags, maybe even create more related videos on advanced editing to build authority, linking them together.
Got it. One more.
You see a competitor consistently owning the #1 spot for how to start a podcast, a keyword you know your audience searches for. Your own video on it ranks okay, maybe #6, but their video just dominates.
Okay, direct competitor winning on a key term.
Insight. They're doing something right and you need to figure out what. Action. Deep dive into their video. What makes it so good? Is it more comprehensive, better structured, more engaging? Then figure out how you can create a video on that topic that's demonstrably better or offers a unique angle they missed.
So it's this constant cycle. Research and target, create and optimize, measure, analytics, rank tracking,
Mhm.
analyze, including competitors, refine, hail, and then do it all again.
That's the iterative optimization loop in a nutshell.
And circling back to that YouTube SEO sensor idea from the sources,
Mhm.
it really feels like that's what it represents. Not a single tool, but this whole integrated data-aware process.
Exactly. The source described it like a custom script or internal dashboard, pulling these different threads together to guide strategy.
Something you could potentially build with the YouTube Data API, maybe.
Yeah, definitely feasible if you have the technical skills or budget. But it really highlights that engineering YouTube SEO mindset, building robust systems for tracking and decision-making, moving beyond just simple rank checking.
It's a more sophisticated approach to understanding keyword performance and, crucially, that stability factor.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the sources also brought up passive income. How does all this focus on quality, stability, and SEO fit into the dream of passive income from YouTube?
It's absolutely linked, but requires the right perspective. YouTube SEO, as one source rightly called it, is a long game, a marathon.
Not a get-rich-quick thing.
Definitely not. You can make money from the partner program, sure, but real, sustainable passive income, that requires smart strategies. And building high-quality, stable rankings through SEO is one of the best strategies for that on YouTube.
Because those rankings can keep bringing in relevant viewers over time without constant promotion for every single view.
Precisely. It's about building assets. That's why that YouTube quality KPI, focusing on how long a rank is held, its stability is more aligned with passive income goals than just obsessing over the daily rank number.
So it's about building these durable digital assets. The videos with stable, high-quality rankings that generate views and potential income over the long haul, aiming for sustainable financial freedom, not just quick, flashy wins that disappear.
Exactly. That's the connection.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. The big takeaway from this deep dive seems clear. Real, lasting YouTube success isn't just about chasing that #1 spot.
No, it's fundamentally about focusing on keyword quality, that mix of engagement from search, stability over time, and meaningful traffic impact.
Would really encourage you, listening, go look at your analytics. See how people who find you via specific search terms are actually engaging. Ask yourself, are my key rankings stable? Are they bringing in engaged viewers consistently? Are they building long-term value?
Yeah, really dig into that data.
And maybe here's a final thought to chew on. Is your YouTube strategy right now genuinely building those durable digital assets we talked about? Or is it maybe more focused on chasing fleeting victories that don't last?
It's worth reflecting on. We invite you to really embrace those principles of engineering YouTube SEO, thinking systematically, focusing on quality, building for the long term.
So yeah, get into your YouTube analytics, explore some rank tracking tools if you haven't already, and definitely keep an eye on the competition strategically. It's all part of building that robust, high-quality presence that truly endures on YouTube.